Hello, welcome to GTS Frog Reviews. This is an update on the Knote 8 review. I've had it for around 2 months. So to let you know, it's still a really good device. I'm still really impressed. If you follow my channel or watch my videos or watch my Facebook page, you know we recently took delivery of the Chewy Corebook, which is the newest offering from Chewy as a 2-in-1. And honestly, I can say I still think the Knote 8 is a much better overall 2-in-1. I'm going to go through and explain to you why. And having used it longer now, I can definitely tell you with 100% certainty that I haven't used a laptop since I've got this, and I probably won't because it functions perfectly well. I'm going to start with the device itself. I'm not sure if you guys can remember from previous videos or if you've seen it, whatever. But as I said, well, just like the Surface Pro, it has the hinge on the back. Now, the hinge on this one, if you're not aware from the other video, it doesn't go all the way back. It's not a major problem. It's still pretty decent, goes pretty decent way back. So you can still lie it relatively flat. I mean, it's not perfectly flat, but you can get it at a relatively good angle. The weight is okay. I wouldn't say it's too heavy or it's too light, but it's a pretty decent weight. It is very well built. It's metal and it has the extra Wi-Fi here. So this is the extra strip at the top. It definitely is a nice screen. The touchscreen is really responsive. As you can see right now, I have Windows up there, and as you can see most everything. And I will show you the touchscreen if I can get to it. And you see, so I really like the fact that it's very functional as a tablet. It's not huge. The bezels aren't terrible at the back. A lot of people have complained about the battery life. I would say on heavy use, I'm getting around 4 hours to 5 hours, and on low level use, I'm getting around 6 to 7 hours. So the most it goes is 7 hours, which isn't bad. I mean, it is running a Core M Y730, which is a relatively large processor. I haven't tried it, but I have seen from a German video that apparently Photoshop is workable on here, and it works very well. I mean, I can say I played Age of Empires on here with no problems. I can run all my internet fine. And I mean, one of the biggest things, as I mentioned in the previous video, is definitely the memory. So now we have Office, Netflix, Chrome, a lot of stuff on here, and I'm still only at I still have 201 gigabytes left because it's a 236 gigabyte hard drive, including, and that's pretty incredible. Also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the previous one, it does come with Windows 10 Pro, or at least this version I have came with Windows 10 Pro. And as we know, it's a very expensive add-on, so that was a really nice advantage they bring. Some of the negatives I found is that is the lack of a USB. It has just a USB-C. And so you have to plug in the USB-C adapter, which comes with the device. But it's a little bit annoying, but it's really it's doable. You can work around it. I like the fact that the power buttons are here. The internet isn't always the strongest. It struggles sometimes to get up to speed, or sometimes struggles to connect. But I mean, generally, I've been really impressed. It works pretty fast. That's what I can say about the device. I use the keyboard a lot, and honestly, I think it's one of the better keyboards I've used. As I mentioned in the previous video, it's rubber, as you can see. But the rubber is really useful because it doesn't get dirty so much. It's easy to wipe down. You don't have to get scared about it getting dented or damaged or scratched. The keys are pretty good, has a pretty good layout. And to be honest, the mouse on here I find is better than the Corebook mouse and actually the Surbook mouse. But again, as I said, the only negative is it's not the best speakers, and the fact that it doesn't have USB-C ports. But apparently all the computers go on this way, as you'll see in the review of the Corebook. It also has lost all its USB-C. It only has a USB-C, which is even worse, and it even charges from a USB-C. This one at least charges from a DC, so you can use the USB-C and the DC at the same time with no problems, which obviously you can't on the Corebook. Yes, this one is a little bit more expensive than the Corebook, but I think out of all the devices, now hasn't tried the Tech Last X5 Pro yet, but I know for the pen, they the keyboard and everything, that's around $650. This is around $500, and the core book is around $450 when I got it on promotion. So I'm guessing the core book on sale is going to be around $500. So if you take all three of them, you'll see that this one actually produces the best results. I mean, we sell this for around $550, and I think it's very, it's very good for the price. It works very well, and if you're looking for something to replace a laptop, if you're looking for a Surface Pro device, but you don't have the money, this is an excellent alternative. I can tell you that so far I've preferred it the best. Now, so basically, if we're talking about styluses, this here is the Chewy stylus, which works on the Chewy High 12, the High 13, and the SurBook, and now the core book. And I actually like it quite a lot. It's very effective. It has palm rejection. It has a tip, so if you're not careful, you will scratch the screen, or at least the tempered glass part of the screen. Now, if I compare it with the pen itself, is supposedly better on the on the AudioCube Knote 8, and this works for almost all AudioCube devices. But for me, I don't like it. It's not so responsive. It has problems when you draw. You have to push really hard. So effectively, it's not so fantastic, but it does work very well as a pointer. But as you'll see, you have to push it really hard to get there. So it works, but it's not the most smooth transition in the world, to be honest. But if you want to have any specific questions about this device, please ask, and I'll be happy to answer them and test it for you for the most part. But yeah, generally I would say this is one of the best 2-in-1 alternatives from what I can see, for sure, to the Surface Pro, if you can live without the USBs. If you absolutely need the USBs, then you need to look at potentially the Chewy and maybe the TechLast X5. As I said, I haven't been able to review the TechLast X5, but it's definitely something that I intend to review soon. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you, and have a good day.